I think after a lot of thought process I decided to make this video just because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about their finances directly, and that is a major problem for international students who actually come in with a budget. এখন সবাই যদি তোমাকে বলে যে আমেরিকাতে থাকা অনেক সস্তা, ও তুমি 2000 টাকা ইনকাম করতেছো, নিশ্চয়ই তোমার লাইফ অনেক আমেরিকাতে ভালো, a lot of people actually don't understand that living in America can be difficult because compared to Bangladesh or any other South Asian countries, the living expense in this area is crazy. So although I live in one of the cheaper states of the US, it doesn't mean যে আমার জন্য সবকিছু অনেক অ্যাফোর্ডেবল প্রাইসে পাওয়া যাবে। একটা ছোট এক্সাম্পল দিয়ে বলি, আজকের ভিডিওতে আমি তোমাদেরকে সবাইকে we will be talking about expenses in general. আমার এক মাসে কত খরচ হয়, how much money do I spend in a month. Just as a disclaimer, I live in an off-campus place. Unlike a lot of people যারা dorm live করে, that dorm amount directly goes into their statement which are given by their family, if you know what I mean. So tuition plus living expense একসঙ্গে pay করে ওদের family. In my case, my parents only pay for my tuition, and living ta I have to give it separately because I live in an off-campus housing. Now let's get started with the video. In 1 month, I think my major expense is my rent. I pay a separate rent for this place that I'm living in. This place is amazing. It's called University Towers. Ekhane there is a swimming pool, there is a gym next to me, and I'm in fact next to a swimming pool. And I think the reason I chose this place is because it's exactly in the central. অনেকেই কি করে টাকা বাঁচানোর জন্য they stay off campus a little bit far away. Now that is good and bad at the same time. Maybe they are paying a bit less, but at the same time they do not have proper transportation facilities, যেটার জন্য it gets very difficult for them to get to their classes on time. Unlike that, as I'm living right next to my classes and there are bus system literally everywhere, I'm saving a lot on transportation, but we'll come back to that later. So let's talk about rent. I am paying $940 a month, and this includes pretty much everything except for my electricity bill, which I'm paying an additional $40 minimum on average. So $980 goes on my rent and also my electricity bills. In this apartment, it's basically a 3-bedroom apartment, and I have my own room. If you want to save cost even in an off-campus housing, you can share a room with another person. I know another U of M student living in the same apartment complex, kintu he is paying around $600 just because 2 people are sharing the same room. Unlike that, I have my own room just because of some privacy purposes. I like having my own privacy, and 3 of us, we share our bathroom. So 3 people sharing their own bathroom, and each of us pay around $940. I pay a bit less because I signed the lease a bit earlier, unlike my other roommates who are paying a little bit extra this semester. So that was the housing cost. And just so I forget, I have written down a couple of things on my iPad because, you know, money is something that you always have to write down. So my second major expense would be my food. Now there are 3 kinds of food options that I've listed down just for, clarification purposes. I either cook, I either buy food from outside, or either have pre-made food, basically, noodles and other stuffs. So for cooking, I primarily go to Patel Brothers, which is an Indian-based restaurant. So jara bideshe eshe chinta kortecho je amra bhule jabo bairer mane Bangladeshi khaba, that is absolutely not the case. There is a lot of Indian grocery stores like Patel Brothers, Bombay Sweets, and other places where we normally buy groceries, come to our house and cook. On average, I go to the grocery store once every 2 weeks, and normally my bajar shajar is like $40. $40 I normally buy a lot of chicken, a lot of shrimp, some dal, bhat, some normal moslas, and pretty much those things. And it costs me around $40 every 2 weeks. So per month, it's around $80 on average. Even if I want to cook, there are some days I get very busy, so I don't cook and I just buy things from outside, and that would be on average per meal, let's say $10, and I would do that 15 times maximum a month, so that adds up to around $150. And next we have pre-made food. Let's say if I want to buy noodles or of some sort, or pasta of some sort, anything pre-made. There are some Indian restaurants as well where they give you pre-made food. There are some groceries where you can buy, let's say frozen pizza or something. So those I sometimes keep because sometimes I might need them, but most of this is mainly ramen, and that would be, let's say, around $50 a month on average. So that was food. There's another app that I normally use called Instacart. Definitely try to buy that because Instacart gives you free delivery after $30 of purchase. And I feel like I have saved a lot of money by not going to Kroger and all the other places. Let's talk about subscriptions next because that's my third major expense. I primarily spend on four major subscriptions. Amazon Prime, because I think with Amazon Prime I get also, I use Amazon a lot for shopping, and okhane I think I save a good ton of money for delivery purposes. I think that's $15 a month. Next হচ্ছে Peacock. Peacock is I think something that I only use for watching WWE কারণ সবাই জানে যে I'm a good wrestling fan. So I think that's just $5 a month. I get to see all the pay-per-view events. সামনে SummerSlam আসতেছে. So if you're a wrestling fan, definitely hit me down below. Next হচ্ছে Chegg. Chegg is something very important that I use because Chegg you can get a lot of homework based solution help which is definitely needed when you are doing a course. I'm doing a summer course right now which is Calculus 4 that definitely requires some external help. Having a tutor in America is super expensive, and for that I just use Chegg, which is $15 a month. You can post your own questions and so on. It's not a sponsored video. I hope Chegg sponsors me one day. Next, I use the LinkedIn Premium, probably a very expensive subscription, but I feel like with LinkedIn Premium you can definitely connect to a lot of people in the industry, and it definitely helps as a booster of your confidence because you get to meet so many people even outside your university. And I think for that I spend like $25. $25 লিঙ্কডইন প্রিমিয়ামের জন্য একটু বেশি লাগতে পারে সবাইকে, কিন্তু আমরা যদি নেটফ্লিক্স $10-15 দিয়ে কিনতে পারি, then why not spend extra 1,000 টাকা and put it on LinkedIn, which will actually help you rather than just Netflix. Now you might be wondering why don't I have Netflix and other stuffs? Mostly because I use some of my friends' account. Other reason also, if I do not explicitly need it, I don't purchase it. Just for watching Stranger Things আমি নেটফ্লিক্সটা আবার কিনছিলাম, but that's just a one-time investment, so আমি এখানে put করতেছি না. So I think the total amount that I spent on the subscriptions would be $40, $55, $60 a month max. আরো ছোটখাটো কিছু থাকতে পারে, but those are not regular. So apart from that, there is also a fee that I would like to talk about, which is Uber or Lyft. Now I normally use the bike a lot. I think cycle kina onek helpful. You save a lot of money. I personally bought a cycle for like, I don't know, $50-60 on Facebook Marketplace. Definitely consider buying a cycle তুমি যদি একটা কলেজ টাউনে থাকো and if everything is nearby. But yeah, the cycle helped me a lot when I was going to nearby places. I also carry my grocery in the cycle or danda. That helps a lot. But normally I would say that around $30-40, maximum $50 আমার Uber এ চলে যায়, because let's say I want to go to the movie sometime or other things. So just spending $50 a month on Uber. Emergency cost, let's say bus miss korlam, I have to go to somewhere emergency, that's when I use Uber or Lyft or any other services like that. And eventually there is shopping. আমি shopping এর জন্য around $50-100 রাখছি. This also includes my miscellaneous cost. Let's say হঠাৎ movie একটা দেখার ইচ্ছা করছে, I spend $10 on that. So shopping and other miscellaneous purposes around $50-100 খরচ হয়. Let's choose the maximum amount, which is $100. So these were my overall expenses. I think the total number you can see somewhere around the screen. I think I'll tell my editor to put that. But overall, this is how my monthly expense goes. Now, it's definitely not cheap, and I can promise you this, যে তুমি যদি ক্যালিফোর্নিয়া বা নিউ ইয়র্কে থাকতা, this would be way higher. আর তুমি যদি let's say Mississippi বা Atlantaতে থাকতা, it would be a bit cheaper. But there's another thing to account. The salary that I get from my on-campus job is obviously right now a bit higher than let's say places like Atlanta, and obviously lower than places like New York or California. So plus minus motamoti hoye jay. But yeah, that was my monthly expense list. Onek choto hishab thakte pare, but that is not something that I would put in this video. In the next video, I would also talk about something related to finance, student financing, how I try to save money and oishob jinish. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next.